The question we're going to tackle today is a fairly common one. It comes up again and again in comments on YouTube. It comes up again and again on emails we receive. And it goes like this. What if I'm exercising and are seeing no results? Okay, first of all, it's mind-blowing, right? If you're exercising, you should be seeing results. But this is not quite as straightforward as it may appear. It's not as clear-cut, which is why I'm going to sort of deconstruct all this and help you to understand it better. But I do understand the question. If you are exercising and you think that you're not seeing any results, it can be very demotivating. It will make you wonder what you're doing wrong. It will also perhaps make it more likely for you to abandon your fitness journey, and that is not something which is good. Okay, so let's start with the obvious here. If you're exercising, you're putting your body under stress. If you're putting your body under stress, you're triggering the adaptive response, which basically changes its physicality. If it changes its physicality, it changes its attributes and capabilities. So essentially you can do more, and you will also obviously begin to see some physical differences which are visible to you. Now, if you think that you've plateaued, which is what we're talking about, if you are exercising and nothing is happening, and usually by nothing we think visually, and things should be happening visually, but that's not the primary criteria here, but I'm going to address this as well. Things should be happening visually, and if they're not, perhaps that is an indication that you're stuck a little bit. But first of all, let's look at the metrics which you should be using. You should be using metrics which have to do with how you feel and what you can do. So if your physical performance is actually improving, if you're becoming perhaps faster, if you're becoming stronger because you can lift more or you can lift longer, if you have greater endurance, these are changes which show that things are happening under the surface, even if visually you haven't substantially changed very much. If you can do those things, I'm willing to bet that your mood is also changing. The way you think about yourself is changing. The way that you feel about your body in terms of the world around you is changing. Your confidence is increasing. Your sureness in yourself is increasing and improving. And these are also very positive metrics you should be using. But if those things are happening, if your performance perhaps is increasing, but you're not seeing visible things, or even if your physical performance is plateauing because it increased for a while and now it's stopped and you're stuck, what could possibly be happening to stop you from developing further? Well, depending on the number of circumstances which govern our own sort of personal makeup, we all have a ceiling, but before we reach that ceiling, the changes which we undergo are governed by three specific things. They're governed, first of all, by exercise, the things which we do in order to become stronger and fitter and more durable. They're governed by nutrition, the amount of food and the type of food which we put in our body, which then becomes the building blocks for the changes, adaptations, and repair that go on, which help us maintain that physicality. And sleep. And not just the hours we sleep, but also the quality of sleep that we have. So those are the three pillars upon which everything we want to achieve actually rests on. And they are, again, exercise, nutrition, sleep. So if you're not changing, if you feel that you're putting in a lot of effort and nothing is happening, I would suggest you go back and examine those three things. And it could be the case that you're doing something wrong in one of them. It could be the case that you're not doing anything right in all of them. You're not perhaps exercising enough, you're not eating enough, or eating the right kind of food, and certainly you're not sleeping enough, and definitely not sleeping sort of in the quality of sleep that you may have. If you're waking up in the morning and you're feeling tired, for example, that's a good indication that the quality of sleep which you have is not sufficient for the changes which you want to see. Now, I'm going to put in the YouTube resource box some resources to help you sort some of that out. But essentially, it's up to you individually to think, okay, if I'm not changing, these are the three things which I am doing or I should be doing: exercise, nutrition, good nutrition, and sleep. Which one do I need to improve? And you always start by the one that's easiest for you to improve. So if, for instance, you think, okay, the easiest thing for you to improve is exercise because you're not exercising enough, and perhaps that's the one you need to up, that's great. That's the one you should be going for. If it's nutrition and you need to improve your nutrition, and that's the easiest thing for you to do, that's the one you should be tackling first. And if it's sleep, you're not sleeping enough, so you need to sleep a little bit longer. Your quality of sleep is not very good. You need perhaps to engage in sleep strategies which help you improve the quality of sleep. Well, then, and that's easy for you to do, then that's the one to tackle first. So what you should be doing is examine those 3 things, see which one you think you can improve the most and the most easily, tackle that, make the changes necessary, see what happens, and usually that's enough for you to become unstuck and begin to see and feel change again. And if that doesn't work, then you go into the harder things where you perhaps need to combine changes in 2 of those things. And you need also perhaps the changes which you make are harder to make. They're more perhaps structurally complex, or they're more costly. So that's the way to tackle these things. So if you're stuck in your fitness journey, examine those 3 things, try and fix the easiest one that's easiest for you to fix. See if it actually improves the results which you get. If it does, great, and if it doesn't, then you begin to become your own analyst and go into greater depth. I hope this helps. I hope it gives you an idea of what you should be doing. Look after yourselves. Take care. I'll see you next time.